Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of.
Okay, so as you guys just saw with that video, Trump said a lot of controversial things, and one of the clauses that he touched on was he mentioned my country's name, and apparently there is a bill that's passed on for LGBTQ whatever, around 8 million, that's supposed to be for LGBTQ. And while I don't even care about the bill that much, I only care about the part where he made it a comic, and he made it a joke that Lesotho is a country that not a lot of people know of, or it's not even known of. And I get where he's coming from. Yes, I think my country is not a very known country, since it's already landlocked into South Africa. And even some South Africans believe Lesotho is just supposed to be one of those provinces that just falls under South Africa. And they want us to not be recognized as an independent country, but as an appendage to South Africa, almost, so to say, a province. Now, the only part that I wanted to touch on was actually the part where it seems like our country is getting so much disrespect, right? And like I said, I never really thought I would have to make any content about a lot of controversial political affairs. Yeah, I don't like politics. That's why I don't even watch the news, right? The only reason I'm making this video is because I came across this video of this feed, this live video on my Facebook feed, and it kind of stuck with me. It didn't make me mad, and it didn't make me upset. I don't really care whether or not my country is recognized. I don't even care if we are to get recognized, because so far there's so many things to count as an advantage of our country not being known. There's so much peace. There's not a lot of interference from other foreign countries. The only time we get an acknowledgement from foreigners or foreign countries is when people come here for tourism, business. But apart from that, we are not really interrupted with any of our things, with our existence. And quite frankly, it's kind of amazing not being recognized. I think there's a sort of at an international scale, there's that sort of peace that comes with not being known, because not a lot of countries fiddle with us. Ne? So I wanted to touch on this topic that, okay, number one, as a citizen, or as a proud citizen of my country, Lesotho, I do not take any offense from the statement made. Yeah, I do not take any offense. I don't have any reaction to what Donald Trump said, and for the fact that it was made a joke about my country. And number two, I want to make it known, even for people who may not know, because this is my platform, and this is the platform that I can use to make it aware to other people that Lesotho is indeed a country that exists. Like it or not, know it or not, recognize the country or not, it's a country that exists, and it's an independent country. A very unique country, in my own words, if I may express it that way, because we are an independent country inside an independent country, meaning we are a country inside a country, right? It's a country inside South Africa. It's an independent country. It's not a province. That's another theory that I want to get out of people's minds. Lesotho is not a province of South Africa. Though a lot of South Africans believe and want it to be that way, it's not going to be that way, I hope. But so far, we are an independent country and landlocked into South Africa, right? But we have, and one unique thing about us is we don't really have a president, right? Like other countries, we don't have a president, right? We still have a king. We still use we still have a king, we have a prime minister, and then we just have a cabinet of different branches of government. No, we don't have a president, we still have a king. But when the country's business has to be handled, is mostly done by the prime minister and the cabinet or the government, right? Not really the king. And yeah, I think so many people now are comfortable throwing shade at my country. And again, I'm going to repeat, I don't have a problem with it. Not personally, I don't. And I know this might be a debatable statement that I just made, that I don't really have a problem with it. That if I'm so much a proud citizen of my country, why am I so unbothered by what happens to my country? And I think one way in which we can express love is, you can love something and not really have a problem when people attack it. Sometimes you don't really have to react, which is why I didn't want to make this video. Sometimes you don't really have to put out a reaction, because sometimes that's what people expect you to do. That's what sometimes people expect to get out of you, to get a reaction out of you. Sometimes people will just poke at you and hope they get a match. That's one thing I learned, because I used to fight a lot, that sometimes people will just start beef with you for the sake of starting beef with you, to see how you will react. The only way to dilute that situation, or to de-escalate any heated situation, sometimes, with my experience, is just shut up and mind your own business sometimes. Just shut up and not even give the person the match that they're looking for, right? So I'm not saying we are going to give a match to the United States of America. I don't know how my country is going to handle this issue of people throwing shade at us. But so far, the latest debate that I came across with between South Africa and my country is Lesotho is working towards trying to reclaim a historical land that was supposedly or allegedly taken from us back in the day. And again, it might be a good thing, it might be a bad thing, it might be something that's going to lead to wars. It might start a war between Lesotho and South African military, and people might die, obviously. But I think so far, with the portion that we have of land, it's still in a very good state of satisfaction for me. The amount of land that we have is still very satisfactory, and I think it's enough. And this is me speaking from a peacemaking point of view, that, well, I think war is necessary. That's number one, right? War is necessary because this would be an altercation between two or more parties fighting over a certain idea, which is maybe in this context the reclaiming of land. So when I'm not interested in a topic, half the time I'll circulate around all other aspects that involve that kind of an affair, not really get into depth with the current issue at hand, the elephant in the room, right? But I think I've already given my own official statements that I don't really care that we are being made a joke of, right? There is peace in my country. There is a well enough civilization in my country. We are not so much of a racist country. We are very accommodative. And this is not even me advertising Lesotho to foreigners that you are more than welcome to come and reside here, but you are still welcome. But I'm just saying, we don't really have any beef. We don't have any beef with any country. We don't have any beef with nobody, right? And that's the funny thing about sometimes being unbothered. This is one quote I remember, that sometimes being unbothered bothers people, right? We are so unbothered as a country with these whole affairs of people dissing us and throwing shade at us, that it bothers them that we are so unbothered about that issue. And I think, again, it brings a level of peace knowing that we are not part of any discussions. It can be a bad thing, it can be a good thing that when we talk about political issues, Lesotho doesn't get mentioned in a lot of those discussions. But there's a level of peace that comes with that, There's a lot of stories, there's a lot of debate that can come across, there's a lot of business that can come with being recognized, there's a lot of work that comes with being recognized. Sometimes it's a good thing. There's pros and cons to being recognized, whether at a level of international scale, whether at personal levels, whether at business or whatever. There's a level of recognition that has its pros and cons. There's a good side and there's a bad side. Yeah. So yeah, this is my official opinion on this matter of Trump saying, I don't even know if this bill is legit or not. 8 million for like LGBTQ. Really? Oh, I don't know. A side of me wants to say it. I agree with Trump that it's a waste of resources and it's a waste of money to allocate such an amount of money for something of that nature. It's almost like, because when I think about all the other issues that we are currently facing as a country, $8 million is so much money that could be allocated to something else other than just a minority or a community of, let me not say anything because I don't want to enrage people now at this point. Nah. And I just wanted to make a very short statement because I have to go take a shower and get myself fresh so I can start my day because I have another podcast episode to make. So I just wanted to comment on this statement that was released. Nah. Yeah, don't really care about being clowned as a country. Nah. Yeah. So peace out, dog. Peace out. Let me know what you think.